Right, we see a Triumph Stag, 1975, 76, well 76, 1976 model year. All of them came with the Triumph V8, which is a 3 litre, about 150 brake. But some people used to retrofit them with Rover V8s, or because the Triumph V8 had issues. If we go over here, we see, what's this? I don't know what this is.
There we go. There's a still down the ground.
I don't know what this is. It looks like AS or something. I don't know. I'm not sure what that is.
Oh, you do, don't you?
I'm going to try and see what the clues are.
Those are all have been pictures.
It's an Ace A.
Right.
It's an A.
Well, have a lovely day.
It's an AS, that one. I'm going to have to read up on this one. I'm not really sure what that is. Here's a Triumph Spitfire. Next to that's a Plymouth Coupe. A nice fetching blue with flames up the side. 1940s. 1940 Plymouth Coupe. Here's a Ford Model A, I think, or is it Model B? Not sure, I'll have to have a look. I think it's a Model A. If we look to my right, there's a... Ah, wait a minute. Let's take another look at this, because someone's actually stuck a sign up. AS is Armstrong Siddeley, so it's a Hurricane. This is a Hurricane. Right, back to the Rover. This looks like a Rover 800 series. Here's an Escort XR3i Cabriolet. Right, back. Ah, that was a Camaro. Here's a 205 GTI, I think, that one. Next to a Triumph Toledo. Note, next to this is a Chevy C10 with the 350 cubic inch, so small block Chevy power. I enjoy seeing these. Here's a Morris Minor 1000. They always come as 1000. The only time they didn't was the really early ones, which were the MMs, which had the lower split windscreen, lower headlamps. There's the two minis. There's a couple of minis here. I've had a chat with the owner. Let's take a look at this quickly. This is Chevrolet Camaro. Quite a late one. Next to what looks to be a Fiat, I think. So, right, now I'm going to get back to what I was meant to be doing. Which, if we was to, I'd already done the. Right, so we're just going to. I need to be really efficient with this. It's really pleasant to be at really pleasant to be back here. But here's a Jaguar, and that says it's an S-Type, so probably the modern S-Type takes its styling cues from that, and very good too. So probably a Mark 1, no, Mark 2 I think. Here's another Rover P6 sitting next to a Morris Minor. And Morris Minors are considered classics, even though they're essentially workhorses back in their day. Ooh, Austin 7. That's just says saloon. Let's have a little look. What a lovely little engine that is. Very simple to work on, I should think. Here's a Morris Oxford. Wait a minute, didn't they make these in India? So they made a version of this in India and they called it the Hindustan, I think. But this is a Morris Oxford, so let's have a look at the shape. Yeah, quite stylish actually. Right, we see a Triumph. It's Triumph Herald, I think. And it says 2 litre, so it could be a straight 6, that one. I see a Mini Cooper just here. From late 1990s. See, they hardly changed, and then they decided to completely change it. Oops, it's an MGB sitting next to another Rover P6. What's this one? This looks like a Wolseley 1500, or what's this one? Yeah, 1500 I think. Ooh, what? Ooh, I've heard of these. It's a Honda NSX. Very late one, I think. 3.5 litre twin turbo V6, 9-speed dual clutch, 3 electric motors, all-wheel drive.
Yeah,
get ourselves past here. This is a Lexus SC430. Here's a Ford console. It's a different form of console. Here's a Morris Minor 1000 in a really fetching paint job of blue. Oh, couple of projects coming up. Well, a couple of hot rods. Evolution is in the house. Look at that. Evolution is in the house. Based on a Ford Popular. Is it Popular or Ford Popular? Because it's Popular and Popular. Imagine naming a car after the fact it's going to be popular because it's relatively inexpensive. That is genius. Chevy V8 in here, Edelbrock heads. I think Edelbrock carburetors as well. He hasn't stuck the mirrors underneath it this year. But yeah, Evolution is in the house. Seen this one a few times. Right, if we move on now, there's a Ford Cortina Mark 1. Alright. Alright. Oh. Yeah. Someone has uprated this slightly. If we move along now, we see a Mini Cooper. Yeah, so here's a Mini Cooper.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah, how many hours is that?
If we move, right, this is another Cortina. No, yeah, it's another Ford Cortina. This one is probably a Mark II. We look. Oh, what the heck is this? Looks like a Ford Model A. That looks like one of these hot rods. Looks like a Model A. Some sort of racing. Nor do I. I'm just looking at it and I feel I've never seen it before, and I feel slightly clueless about it. Let's see if I can get some clues. Doesn't look very comfortable to drive though.
That leaf spring suspension.
That's something else, isn't it?
Yeah.
It says it's 1927, so it's a Ford Model A. So I think.
Wow, I wonder
Was
what
it?
that's like to drive.
Hold up. 1920. I'm trying to think, when did they switch from Ford Model T to Model A? Could even be a Model T. Could even, well, not T. I don't think it's a T bucket though. Yeah, I'm going to be clueless. I'll have a look later. Here's a Riley sports car, or racing car or something. Here's an Austin 12.4. Just here. Get the deck chair out of the way. There we are. Right, this is, by looks of things, a 1940 something Ford, some kind. And if we look, it's been slightly uprated. They seem to have slightly gone off brand. Look. No, not a 40s, it's a 1934. So based on the Model B then. Next to this is a Ford Capri. Probably one of the coolest cars ever to have come out of Dagenham. I think that's where they made it.
I agree with that.
Should have come as a V8 version. I know they corrected that down in South Africa.
It's got the 3.1 in it.
3.1. So, oh. Probably shifts though.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Throws you back in your seat. That's what you want in something like this. Yeah, so there we are. If we have a look here, we see a Jaguar E-Type, the V12, because it has a birdcage grille on it. Yeah. And also, just to let us know, there's a pink Jaguar sitting on the roof. They are quite majestic, actually, big cats. Here's another little Mini. It's a Morris. So it's a, yeah, so it says it's a Morris. So it's got the A series, but it's all badged up as a Morris. So probably a Morris Mini Minor. If we have a look over here, we see a Vauxhall Cavalier drop top. I'm gonna get a better view of this in a minute. Nice Cavalier. We go backwards a bit. We see an Escort. Which one is that? Is it just drop top Escort Mark 4 perhaps? Right, here's an MGA. It's the 1600. Not the twin cam though, I don't think. It'd probably say that on the thing. Here's a Mercedes SL 300, 24 valve. Right, here's a Rover Metro. They evolved into the 100 in the end. supposed to replace the Mini, but never did. Don't think anything really did. If we look to my right here, we see a Westfield. Looks a bit like a Caterham, but it's a Westfield. And no, and it says it's a Q plate, so year indeterminate. They don't know when they put it together. DVLA doesn't know when it got put together, so they just give it a plate of some kind. Just it's a Q. No one knows when it was done. Yeah. Yeah, not a good day to be eating fish, but right, this is Bentley. Yeah, so here's a Bentley, not a Continental, is it? I don't know what it is. If we just move around the... Here's an MGB sitting next to a Ford Escort. Is it? No, might not be. What is that? That's an Orion. So a saloon version, I think, either of the Escort or the Sierra. Next to that is a Citroen DS, one of the most advanced cars in the world when they first made them. I think, to be honest, what is that? It's a DS21, that one. I'm reading the thing. What is it? Palace Hydro... I can't read it, it's French. Hydrologique or something, I don't know. I never really gave it up as a bad job. But here it is, one of the most... Never really went out of date. Here's a Saab of some kind, I think it's a 900 or a 99. No real... Must be I think it must be a 99 or a 900, something like that, I don't know. Which is that one? Is that a 900? Oh, it's actually a 99. I thought it was a 99. And here we see a Morris Minor 1000 in the guise of a police car. Don't know what they'd be chasing in that. No, I don't know what they'd be chasing in that, if I'm honest with you. Yeah. Here's a MG, I think it's is that an MGF or TF, that one. Here's a Toyota Celica drop top. Oh, I haven't seen one of these in a long time. It's a Vauxhall Frontera.
Oh my god, the girls got me their bracelets. Actually, that might work. Oh, he's an issue. Already posted the shirt stock. Yeah.
Right.
No, it's a cover.
Oh, some of these cars look like they're like
Note the patina on that. Right, that's a... What is that anyway? It's a three-wheeler of some kind, but what is it? It says DRK or DAC. It's another one of those cars I haven't got much of a clue on, to be honest. Here's another Ford Cortina. I know what they are. Here's another Jag. Probably an XJ. Next to that looks to be a Fiat 600. Or Seicento, as it would be in Italian. Be a 600cc 2-cylinder. Right, I'm just about to come across something incredible. Here's an MGB. I'm about to come across something quite incredible. This is quite incredible. Let's get some details on this. Oh my life, this is almost Mad Max, isn't it? I wonder what's in here. There's an engine in here somewhere. I wonder if that's it. Sorry, but this is nuts. I like the way they put a chain around the headlamps. There's a Ford of some kind. Probably based on... what was it based on? You know, like an F-150 or an F-350 sort of look. But you just can't, I just can't place it. And see what Evolution looks like behind it compared like size wise. That's just... but we see an Austin A30. Yeah, so here's an Austin A30. Again, relatively inexpensive machine. Bit of a workhorse. Oh, just right. I'm just gonna move around because I've just seen a Hillman Super Minx, which is that is quite a nice car. That further Humber Hawk though. And if we look to my right is a Chevrolet Apache, named after a seriously hardcore Indian tribe from America, obviously. Well, the correct term is First Nations, but it's named after. It's named the Apache. It would have come with a small block V8 by Chevrolet, so could have been a 4.3. I'm wondering though if it's retained the 4.3 or whether they've may have upgraded it slightly, like is quite common in America. Right, I'm gonna... oh, here's a Mini 1275, and look at the size of it as compared with the Chevrolet Apache, which I've just shown you. But here's a Chevrolet 3100 1953 step side, so it'd be a step side. Originally would have come with a 6-cylinder. Yeah, originally would have come with a 6-cylinder. I'm just going to shut down and change the battery.